we've talked about the life cycle of a mayfly and a caddis, so let's talk about the life cycle of a stonefly. This is a really interesting insect compared to mayflies and caddis. The reason why is because they don't have the emerging phase. We'll get into that. So there's over 500 species of stoneflies in North America. Some common ones that we see are the golden stone, the black stone, and the brown stone. The first phase of a stonefly's life is similar to that of caddis and mayflies in that the egg hatches and matures into a nymph and it lives on the river bottom. You know what's really interesting about stoneflies though, is that sometimes they live up in this stage for about 3 months, but it can be up to 3 years, which is crazy for a small, tiny nymph. During this time, it'll constantly be growing larger and living in stages called instars, in which it's shedding its exoskeleton every time it grows. Now we go into the next phase, which is very different from mayflies and caddis. The stonefly does not emerge up to the surface to become a winged adult. Instead, the stonefly will simply crawl out over onto rocks and vegetation, and this is where it will have its final molting, in which it will shed its final exoskeleton to become a winged adult. This is why they're super easy to identify on a river, because I often will see their exoskeletons and their casings left along rocks on the river. When you're walking upstream and you see all these large nymph casings stuck to rocks, it's kind of like a hollow, thin, frail casing from an insect. Those are from stoneflies. Female and male stoneflies will go ahead and mate on the vegetation and the rocks next to a river. Then the female will fly above the water and deposit the eggs, and then we see the cycle happen again.